This is Planet Music.
Welcome to Planet Music from the makers of Planet Marzipan.
In a streaming world, we're proud to be a podcast that celebrates the art of the album. Hello, welcome to Planet Music. I'm Meza. I'm here with my good friends.
Craig.
And
Mikey.
And
Great.
And
Gary Page.
Gary
He's
G.
all the
Van
rage.
Page is here. Yeah, he's all the rage.
I think you have another Gary on, so I've got to distinguish.
Hey, you G-Man. For this episode, you're G-Man. For obvious reasons. Will become apparent, yeah. As you can see from the title of the episode, we are here to talk about David Ford's 2010 album, Let the Hard Times Roll. And who wants to admit to picking this one?
Oh, I'll put my hand up straight away. It was my choice. Love it.
Okay. Craig's choice, and Gary's here because he's on the bloody record.
I am.
Amongst other things. But yeah, Gary's a friend of ours. He's a musician, a DJ, general, nice chap, really.
Thank you.
But yeah, Gary's going to illuminate us with some of the backstories to this record as well. Craig's just admitted before we recorded he's got no notes at all because he knows the record inside out. So we'll test him on that later. It was released according to the notes that I found, and I didn't know this record before we looked into it, on the 15th of February 2010. So how old were you on the 15th of February 2010, Craig?
Ooh, I would have been the ripe old age of about 37 or 38.
Okay.
Cool, baby.
There is a Wikipedia entry. It won't take me long to read, though. It says, Let the Hard Times Roll is the third studio album by singer-songwriter David Ford, released on the 15th of February 2010. And then there's the track listing. That's all is there. So, Craig, do you want to say a little bit about why you've picked this record?
I can do. As Gary will attest to, I've been a massive fan of Mr. Ford since I discovered him personally, supporting Star Sailor back in about 2005, which was just the time when he'd released his first solo album. I sincerely apologize for all the trouble I've caused, which was his first solo album after leaving the indie pop rock band Easy World. It's his third album because his second album, Songs from the Road, was the follow-up. Both of them through an independent, and for a while he was signed to a major through Columbia in America. Subsequently, if you've read his book or if you know much about him, he's the next big thing that never happened. And Let the Hard Times Roll is his third album, and for me, the first three, it's by far my favorite. And on this tour was the first time I met our esteemed guest, Mr. Page. We'd corresponded a while because, being Marillion fans, and it was lots of stuff had happened. And we first met on this tour at the Coco in London because me and Dobby had came down for that gig, and we've been friends ever since.
Yeah, well, it leads to
those full band gigs. Sorry, were those full band gigs? Great.
Sorry, we should explain that
just
Graham is in a hotel, which is why he sounds like a Dalek this evening.
I'll try and fix that. Hang on.
Yeah. The Coco gig was a big full band gig. There was about 9 of us on the stage at that one. As London gigs tend to have, like, with Ford and Gary will attest, it's more of a group of friends.
I mean,
than anything.
Yeah, since David, I'm going to call him Ford. Actually, it seems weird calling him David.
I know, yeah, so they always call him.
Since Ford's band broke up, and I was a roadie for that band, so because I went to school with Ford's sister, she was in my class at school. So when they split up, he obviously needed to assemble a band to play bigger gigs. So he assembled kind of a smaller band to start with, which was our friends Francis and Joke Man Ben. But for the big gigs, he'd assemble like this big ensemble of like whoever wanted to come along, and it's still kind of that way now. Well, like we played Latitude Festival. We played the first ever Latitude Festival, and they were expecting a solo artist, and there was about 15 of us, including my wife, who was just going to be there just to sing backing just on one song. So he's always done that, but obviously there's no money in it. We just do it for the love and the experience, and that's been the way it's been for the last 20 years. It's taken us to some great venues, playing with some really good people. But ultimately, we're all just friends that do have other jobs, and he's the one that's the driving force, the professional.
But
And you
I think
play
we've got
you play drums in the band, don't you?
I've played everything.
Have you? Okay.
Yeah. I've played drums at gigs. I've played for this tour. I was playing samples, percussion, all kinds of stuff, mandolin on a couple of songs. It makes me sound like a proper musician, but I just learn his stuff, and it seems to do the trick. It fills out the sound. But yeah, I've played everything really.
come on, add the
been on
other
a great
things that you've
journey.
played: suitcases, hat
Oh, yeah,
stands.
so the hat stand I think was this just before this album, wasn't it? That was 2008.
Yeah,
That was the three person tour. It was me, Hannah Peel, who's gone on to become this
legend.
absolute legend. It's unbelievable. Composer, film composer, and David.
She's
And it was
everywhere.
just and that was just three of us. And I played hat stand with a big metal clanger, uh, which is on this. I didn't play it on the album. He didn't trust me on the album, but there is some clanging on the album. So yes, I've done everything, and it's been great. It's been such a great experience. We always have a laugh because we're all friends, and that's
Yeah.
that's the main thing, really.
Brilliant. When did you last play with him?
Oh, God. We did a charity gig because David's now a patron of this reverse Rett syndrome. Go and look it up. It's a horrific illness, disease that affects mainly young girls. So Dave's now a patron of this charity, so he does a lot of gigs. So I think the last time I played with him was that, but actually no, I'm wrong. We all played at my 50th birthday party.
Okay.
So a different kind of gig. We just get together and we play like classic covers. So it's just good fun.
Brilliant. Okay. Well, did Mikey Gray, did you know this record before? Mikey, you might have known it.
No. Big had oft talk about Mr. Ford, and I just kind of like heard stuff he was playing, but it was not really my bag. Well, at least it wasn't 16 years ago. I've had my eyes and ears well and truly opened yet again. Obviously, I attended Craig's wedding, and Mr. Ford graced us with his presence there, and that was the first and only time I'd really been attuned to his work. So no, this was yet another virginal listening. This album, it's been a pleasant experience.
What about you, Gray?
Oh, I got a collection of David Ford for Christmas.
Oh, you did,
Yeah,
didn't you?
I
Yes,
did.
in our Secret Santa, yes. You did.
Yes, and I'll be honest, I'd put it on a shelf and forgot about it. But I did play through this album, and I was like, oh, that's quite nice, and then didn't go back to them. But the last 2 weeks, I've had this on pretty much non-stop. And gone back through his other his catalogue and what have you. I mean, he's got loads of EPs and stuff that he's released as well as the albums. It's just he seemed to be being quite prolific at some point. And this album in particular is right up my street with the styles and what have you. So yeah, I hadn't paid much attention to it despite having it for a few months, but that has been remedied.
Okay, cool. As I said, I didn't really know this record. Craig's, full disclosure, Craig's tried with David Ford, and I didn't really get it. And by the end of this hour and a half, you'll see that I'm still not really getting it. But we'll talk through it track by track. There are some nice things on here for that even me with my prog ears can love. But yeah. So I didn't know this album. I mean, the standout track for me is, I don't know what record it's on, Cheer Up You Miserable Fuck, because
That's from this first album.
yeah, because of the lyric.
I wonder why he never made it big.
Yes, well, I think if he released that now, he might. You never know.
Yeah.
I mean, the recording of this was quite interesting because for his second album and for this, he recorded it on his own predominantly in an industrial estate unit that he had rented for a while, which was interesting. He's having the way that he'd had it set up, wasn't it? His like recording booth was in like another side of the unit, so he'd have to hit record, run through a few doors, up some stairs, back and forwards to get it all in. It's like crazy stuff.
Yeah,
he is quite a multi-instrumentalist, though,
Oh,
isn't he?
yeah.
You know, he's like he could probably play everything on the album himself, I would imagine.
Well, I think he's credited with playing everything on the album, isn't he?
Yeah.
Apart from the chorus is Gary and friends.
Hannah's on there a little bit,
right?
as well.
But
the when Dave signed, I'm gonna use so many different versions of his name today. It's terrible because I do that when we go to football and play five-a-side on a Sunday night. But anyway, so he got some money when he signed his first album deal. So he recorded it independently, recorded it in Lewis, in his flat. So he got some money, got signed. He was going to be the next big thing. So he put some money into buying some gear, and he got this, this place in Helsham, which I know very well because it's where I work. He bought a unit on an industrial estate next to the tip.
Bit like the Racket Club.
Glamorous, isn't it?
Well, yeah. But you guys haven't been to Helsham, I'm sure. But Helsham is quite rural as well. So behind the studio was some horses in a field. So they would make noises, and Ford would have to like stop the take because some horse was whinnying in the field. But it was a place that we used to go to when he wanted us to do backing vocals and stuff on the record, and we just pile in his van, just go over, get a £1 pizza on the way, and just have a laugh. And he was quite isolated, mainly though, because I'd go over sometimes, just go to see if he was all right, if he was still alive. It was quite isolating. The drum kit was downstairs, so if he had, and the control booth was upstairs. So he had to press record, scuttle down the stairs, get on the drum kit, do a take, run upstairs, and press stop. So that was his the way he recorded. He never once said to us, "So do you fancy coming to press and record?"
You can't tell from listening to it. It's a really professional sounding record.
Yeah.
You know,
Wasn't
none of that is apparent.
Yeah, because he was recording on it. He was going to go to the studio on an afternoon and not really start recording properly till an evening, till the estate was quieter and everybody was out of the way. So I didn't think he wanted to inconvenience people.
Yeah, it was eventually mixed by a guy called James Brown, not the James Brown, but James Brown was a producer that worked on Easy World's second album, and Ford became really good friends with him. They're still really good friends. James Brown went on to become Foo Fighters engineer, so he engineered on quite a Foo Fighters albums, but he still mixes Dave's records, and to this day, so they're still really good friends. And he mixed this record.
Okay, shall we get into it?
Go for broke.
Let's go for it.
Okay. First track on the album is Panic. Who shall we come to first? Let's try Mikey.
Panic. Well, I didn't know what I was going to expect going into a David Ford album, but it certainly wasn't this. The beginning is, what did I write down? Wonderfully grandiose. I just love that soundscape. That it sounds like timepieces just whirling around. It sounds absolutely wonderful. And you've got tubular bells going on in there as well. top 10 marks for that.
Hang on. You know, like Craig does sci-fi every week. Do you have to do an Oldfield reference every week? Have I missed
No,
this?
there's actually tubular bells being hit.
Okay.
Real ones.
But you frequently talk about Oldfield on here, don't you?
I do. It does come up every now and then. I love
Well,
the
we're going to do
fact that-
songs of Distant Earth at some point, do you think?
Maybe. I love the fact that the track's kind of balanced into almost two halves, where you've got the first four verses are really stripped back, and it works almost like poetry. You know, it's absolutely beautiful. The words are sublime. And then you've got this musical interlude in the middle, which I find this happens quite a lot through the album. There's a lot of instrumental breaks in like what would be essentially a middle-aged section, and they work really well all the way through the album. And this one was quite bass-led. Really loved that. And then the next four verses are kind of delivered with a bit more visceral tone, and certainly stronger. You've got the full, I'm going to say band, but you know, like all the instruments are kind of at the forefront for the last four verses, and then literally you've got this big crashing final verse, which it just takes it up to another level again. There's loads of stuff going on here and a lot to love. It's a fantastic opener. It doesn't quite hit the heights of maybe another two or three tracks, which I'll come to later on, but an absolutely sound start. And his lyrics all the way through this album are fantastic. My favorite one from this particular song was, it's taking lessons from the past. I won't build anything to last, but engineer to fall apart the day the warranty expires. And it's almost like he knows like he's doomed to fail, you know. There's certainly a lot of these sort of themes running through the album, and you kind of feel sorry for the guy, you know. You can see he's wearing his life on his sleeve with this album. Kudos to him. I think it's a really, really good song.
Oh, well, I would have come to Gray next, but he's disappeared off the call, so I'm going to say what I think about this. I think this is not like anything else on the record. I think I get a sort of a Bruce Foxton Jam vibe from that bass riff. It's really sort of almost start like for want of a better thing. And the sort of clockwork musical box kind of theme through the beginning of the song is really clever, really, really clever. This is, as I say, not like anything else on the record, and probably one of my favorite tracks on here, I would say. David sings this, or kind of spits the lyrics at the beginning. By the end, he's full voice, you know, he's really going for it over the band and everything else happening. Brilliant start with a great energy as well. Craig, what do you make of it?
I love it. And this was the lead track from the album. You know, if you're going to call it a single, it was never physically released, but he did a video for it on YouTube. And there's one thing that Gary will attest to, that Ford loves doing his videos, and he's got some absolute corkers. And this is it. This is a great black and white one where he's just walking around the streets. It's a camera pointed at himself, and he's just doing essentially the rant.
It's really good.
Through.
It's really good.
It's absolutely corking. And just like Mikey said, one of the things that drew us to Ford from the very, very beginning is the quality of his lyrics. I mean, the guy to me is almost as you know, like H, where he can write songs that can get right to your heart and really mean something. And this is a protest song, and when he plays this live, depending on which version he does, because he'll do it on his own, and he'll have his loop box to build up the parts to it, and it's absolutely fantastic. And yeah, lyrically brilliant, musically exciting, and I've always loved it. I'll say this for the whole bloody album. I love it.
You probably will, yes. Graham's reappeared, so we'll come to Gray and then Gary at the end, if that's all right.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you think of Panic? Which is obviously what you've just had trying to get back on the call.
Yeah, exactly. It's brilliant. I mean, my notes were like frantic with the ticking, and the way that, like and Mikey said about the timepieces, that the way the music's built up at the start, it just builds this tension, and then he starts doing the sort of the tripping rhymes in the lyrics. The way he does the lyrics is incessant, and by about 1 minute 36, when he's done, because he starts off fairly soft. He's not got that gravel in his voice that you see in the rest of the album, or even the second half of this song. But by the end of by that 1 minute 36, I'd have been done. I'd have been spent. I don't know how he got all the words in. And then the song takes off. But what I like about it is there's no actual chorus in the song. It's just like an incessant thing. And I love that the sort of bass loop bit about 2 minutes 45 or so, where it breaks right down, and it's just the drums and the bass. I love it. And it's quite interesting when you hear it like that. You hear some of the different parts. You hear that kind of the pop sensibilities of it, but it doesn't sound anything like a pop song when you put it all together.
What you didn't hear was I likened it to the Jam, that sort of bass riff. It's very Bruce Foxton, I thought.
Very much, yeah, very much so.
And I think, let's say lyrically, what I mentioned before is that now there's a lot of, let's say, not say political, but there is a lot of political stuff within this album. But I think it's actually more relevant today with what's going on in the world in America and things like that than it was actually back in 2010. I think it feels more relevant.
So he would have written it 2009 if it was released early 2010.
Yeah, it's been around a long time. I think it was like around 2008.
Yeah, it's around the world crash. So it was written at a really politically upheaval time, sort of political upheaval time, and you can tell that in the lyrics. But also, there's a lot of other stuff that we'll come to in some of the other songs. I think one of the reasons I love it, and it's separate to talk about the interview, is it's a real mix of personal stuff and political commentary. It's got that the album goes everywhere. It's brilliant.
Gary, have you got anything you can enlighten us with about Panic?
Yeah, so it was recorded. I remember it from about 2008 because Craig will probably remember. There was loads of EPs that came before the album, so a lot of the tracks from the album appeared on. I've got them here actually. EPs. So
Songbooks, yeah.
Yeah, Panic was around that time, but it was. I heard it I've got somewhere a slightly different version of it. But first time I heard it, I thought, that's the Jam, mate. Come on. I didn't say that to him. There's a few times in my life where I thought that, but I would never tell him.
If he listens now, you've let it out.
He's fine. He knows. But I've had the version we did. I think it was at Latitude Festival. It was incredible because I was doing. It's not all about me, obviously, but I was doing all the samples of the music box, so I had to do it all in time. It was all on pads, so like digital percussion, and it was a real homework lesson. And I think at the end of it is, I can't believe you did that. Can't believe you got it. Which was, and I say to him all the time, we just do it because we don't want to let you down, basically, because we know that you're in a position, you're playing Latitude Festival, and we're all your mates. We don't want to let you down. We don't want to look like chumps in front of people, so we probably do the homework. So Panic's been around for a long time, and regarding the lyrics, Ford's before music, I think he would admit that he was into English literature and acting. He wanted to be an actor before he was a musician. Yes. So he did a lot of at our school, Cavendish. He did a lot of the plays and was in like Romeo and Juliet, all those kind of things. So he's very literate. So it does come across.
It does come out, yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay. Moving on to track 2, Making Up for Lost Time. Mikey, what do you make of that?
Well, I wasn't expecting the massive drum crashes at the beginning. It's the one thing I liked about this album is you've got a lot of similarity and a lot of things to hone in on that makes it coherent, yet there's equally as much difference. And it was almost jarring hearing that drum at the beginning after coming out of a track that was so like bass led and sort of like sample led. But I love the piano in this one. It is absolutely wonderful, and it works really well with the acoustic guitar. And there's a couple of tracks of the album where it is pretty much just a form of acoustic guitar with either piano or keyboard. It's just a sublime marriage. The melodies that they create together are just wonderful. At 1 minute 30, you've got another one of those sort of like mid-song musical breaks. You've got keyboards, harmonica, I believe, for the first time this album, and the drum work there is absolutely brilliant as well. It is just so melodic, this song. And dare I mention that I thought Billy Joel could have done this song. I kind of put my Billy Joel hat on and just thought, yeah, I could see him. I don't know why.
I
I
think
don't
we
know
should
why. Maybe
issue
around about
bingo
Glass Houses
cards,
time.
listeners. I think we should issue you with bingo cards for Mikey. And we've
Well,
had
you're
Mike
probably gonna-
Oldfield, we have Billy Joel. What's coming next?
Oh,
You don't
you'll have a
mention-
line before this episode, Zev. What I was really impressed with, though, was the way the song ends. There's like this double piano note played, and then the song just hangs. You've just got this lead out, which is just it's almost like ethereal. It was just absolutely stunning. It's a nice story song. It's like a road trippy kind of song, and yeah, I liked it. Again, it's not quite hitting highs yet for me, but it's really good. Really good.
Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of in a similar boat, really. I didn't like it as much as the first track. It is more what I think Ford is in my head, this track. It's more typical of what he does. It's got a great chorus, though. A brilliant, brilliant chorus. And as Mikey says, it's a story lyric. So yeah, I'm kind of saying the same things as Mikey. It's not the best thing on the record, and it's not as good as the track that precedes it, but it's okay. Great.
I like it. It's kind of I like the rhythm to it, and I like the fact, although it's a story, like it's kind of wistful, but also looking forward. It's like thinking about all the things that have gone wrong, but being kind of positive because he's making up for lost time. And the lyrics, I mean, it's like, I haven't seen her since the summer when she left without the ring. She made the craziest accusations, but every one of them was true. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's so on the point. It's like, I don't you listen to some people lyrically. I think one of the people that's very similar to me is Elvis Costello, where they say things and you're like, how the hell can you get that into a lyric? But it just works. For me, it's not Billy Joel. I get a post big music Waterboys feel to some of this stuff.
Yeah, I get that.
You know what I mean? Some of that, it's got that country folk blues,
Not as much country as the next song.
Yeah. Well, I think, yeah, okay. But yeah, so that's how I get it. But again, his lyrics for me are what sells me on this album.
Yeah. Okay. Greg?
Yeah, this was the second track pushed for potential single. It's very commercial for him. It's a very commercial sounding song. It's a really great tune. Lyrics are fantastic. You know what you're saying, Mikey, about like a tour kind of story thing. It is because was it the Third Line Joke Man? One of the friends and one of the guys in the band is mentioned on it. So it's if you know some of the road crew thing, you know what's what. But yeah, absolutely cracking song. It's great. Out with the harmonica, which he does occasionally on different songs throughout his career and that. But yeah, and the video is really entertaining because you've got going through the countryside pushing a piano up a hill. And then at the very last 2 seconds, is the next person on this pod turns up.
Yeah, it's actually a video that we didn't make as a friendship group. It was a friend of a friend. Their brother was a aspiring film director. Filmed it beautifully. It's such
It is
a
really
great
nice.
video. It's filmed. If you know Sussex, it's just on the way to after Eastbourne. You go along the coast. It's called the River Cuckmere. So it was all filmed around there. And yeah, as always, he said, "Oh, after work, do you want to come and film video?" I was like, "Oh yeah, how long? What?" He goes, "Oh, it'll only be an hour. I've done all the rest." So basically, he pushed this piano around for the whole day, and then at the end, he pushes it up the hill, and we're just there for the last note, and that's the gag. So yeah, go and check it out. It's on YouTube. But yeah, I'm playing drums on the video, not on the track, but on the video. But yeah, it's kind of, it is, to me, it's a road song. There's so many references that I get because it's the first incarnation of the solo tour. It's Joke Man, our friend Ben, and Frances Law, who is I think she's on this track. Yeah, I think she sings backing vocals on it. I can kind of hear her voice. So, but it's them on the road basically, and obviously he puts in a kind of little love angle into it because he's a writer and he does that really cleverly. It's a clever writer that can kind of not almost invent a story rather than it being real life.
Just add to it.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Track 3 is Waiting for the Storm, Mikey.
This is one of my 3 joint favorite tracks. And it's strange because it really isn't the sort of music that I would have said, bring it on, you know? You can almost imagine sitting in an American dive bar and listening to this being played by a live band. It's got a gorgeous acoustic opener. It's got a beautiful melody, and achingly emotive lyrics. It's just absolutely sublime. I've played this loads and I really haven't written a lot of notes down about it. I just
You
think
get
it's
lost in
absolutely
it.
yeah, you do. It's just absolutely wonderful. Again, there's another musical breakdown in the middle. He's got his harmonica out. We've got piano on the drums, guitars. It's just absolutely sublime, and it just works from start to finish. And my favorite lyric in the song goes, "Maybe the sky above will break. Now I'm hanging on for pure survival's sake. So ashamed of what I've done, and I'm scared of what's to come." Poetry, it's honestly, it's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Loved it.
Yeah, I don't like it. Just another country song to me. It just doesn't do it at all. The exact opposite of what you just said is how I feel about it, Mikey. I'm sorry. And I feel even worse because Gary's on here, but it's just I mean, you know where I come from. I mean, there's a track in 2 tracks time, which is the polar opposite of this for me. Absolutely floored me. But this just leaves me cold. Rescue Me, Gray.
So, if you go on Apple Music or whatever and you play this, it comes up with country as the genre for the album. And I was the first 2 tracks. I'm like, I don't get it. It's not country. It might be some kind of Nashville rock stuff. I can get that kind of Nashville songwriter. But this song here, I was like, I just wrote this immediately. Went country tag. That's where it's from. But the song is achingly gorgeous. It is. It's so desolate. But I think in the liner notes, does he not say that he wrote this really quickly? It was just like thrown out. It was like something that he found it really easy to write. And I don't know if that's maybe because musically it's more formulaic than some of the other stuff on the album, but it follows a country music style of music pattern, but it's achingly desolate. The whole thing is just just so well done lyrically for me. And this is where the album shines. It's that his ability to write a story, and whether it's something that you can relate to or just something that you just lose yourself in, somebody telling you a story about how they feel or what they've seen, he just does it so well.
Okay. Greg?
Yeah, I see this more as like Americana rather than country. And I can get where you're coming from, the country vibe and stuff with it. But again, it's the lyrics that get me. You know, like you said, it's just but queer as well. It's achingly beautiful, as are most of the songs. And even if it's not a tune that you like as much, you can bury yourself deep in the lyrics and get where the heartbreaks come from.
I think that's why it got me, Craig, because you know what sort of music I like, and this really generally shouldn't have been my bag, and yet I think this is a standout track. I agree with what John's going to say in 2 tracks' time, because I'm going to agree with John on that one. But
you best not say loads on that, because it's the best. That's the most I've got to say on the whole record.
Oh, I'm going to upset you all on that one.
But yeah, sorry, Craig. Go on.
But no, I love it. Like I say, there's not a track on this album that I don't either like or love, and it's because I've lived with the album a lot over the last 16 years, and it's one that's on heavy rotation every year. So
Okay.
Yeah, so
Go on, guys.
yeah, I mean, he's my mate, but I don't listen to his music a lot. When we play live, I kind of immerse myself in the songs. But this is my favorite vocal performance, I think, by him. It's the bit, and it's more so live. It's sent. I've been on stage because I've played acoustic guitar a few times on this song. It's pretty easy. It's a pretty easy song to play. But I'll get it wrong sometimes. But there's the bit as Mikey said about them. Maybe the sky will break, and the other one where it says, "I'll be the one to take the fall." It's just the way his voice is on that song. It just sends shivers down my spine.
There's a break to it, isn't there?
Got-
It's like it's
I've
just so
Got
good.
to be honest, one of the tricks we do on here if we don't really know the record is we listen as we're talking, and I must admit, after slagging the song off, the vocal performance on those bits is amazing.
Yeah.
I've just heard it again now.
I mean, for me, yeah, as I say, I don't really listen to him that much because he's my mate. But that one is like, and I listened to it again in the car today. I was like, yeah, the voice is amazing on that song.
So I did find a blog. Sorry, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I found a blog where there's a guy that has reviewed every single David Ford release, and he reviews this, and he says that this album he struggles to find a song that he doesn't like, but he thinks "Waiting for the Storm" is the best song he has written and the best vocal performance he's ever done.
everybody takes something different.
Yeah.
Okay, here's another one then. Track 4, Surfing Guantanamo Bay.
Ooh, a little bit
Mikey.
of politics.
Well, there's 3 tracks on this album which I think are deliberate shorter interludes or songs that either didn't get fleshed out further or didn't need to get fleshed out further. And each of these tracks, I think, could have easily been removed from the album, but they belong on the album in context. So, there's pros and cons for them being there or not. It's not a highlight for me, I have to say, and I'm going to say that for each one of these short songs. But I do like the sleazy guitar sounds in this. I think it's almost like a dirty blues feel to it, this song. But the best part of it for me is there's this bit towards the end where he goes into the I tried to wash it all away section, and it almost has like a John Lennon Beatles-ish kind of delivery to it, and I just love that change aspect to it. For a song that's that short, to have the musical changes within it, I think works really, really well. So yeah, it's okay, but I'm not raving about it.
It's 2 minutes 10, isn't it? So it really
Yeah.
is more of an interlude. It's kind of a 50s pastiche for me. It's a bit, that guitar sound, and yeah, I can't find the words. It's not.
You're listening to
If
the
I
wrong
never
song.
spend 2 minutes 10 listening to it again, I'm fine with that.
Oh man.
Look, this ain't a surprise. I've been very upfront. He's a very
Yeah.
nice man.
So first of
Got
all,
a
I'm
great
gonna,
voice, and he blows my socks off with the next song. So off you go.
yeah. First of all, I'm going to finish off the lyric that Mikey started because it's stunning. I tried to wash it all away in the swell, but every wave drew my soul a little closer to hell. It's. I think if we think back to 2008, 2010, it's when every night on the news we had the people in the orange suits being paraded around because there was all this thing about people getting incarcerated without due process and what have you. So I can understand why it was written and the anger that it's sing. But it's really interesting for me how the album just takes this sudden shift from all these personal lyrics to this political comment. And it is, although Panic's kind of a state of the world thing, it still has a more of a personal touch to me, personal feel to me than this. This is very much political commentary of its time. But I get a kind of Sheryl Crow Tuesday Night Music Club feel from the way it's done.
Yes. Yeah, I was going to say that.
I very much, and then I put Kevin Gilbert question mark because obviously we've been.
I really don't get that.
It's a
Neither
Tuesday
the
night news
Sheryl
night.
Crow or Kevin Gilbert.
It might be just be the dirty guitar thing. I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah. But it's almost a palate cleanser after between Waiting for the Storm and What Comes Next, because it's short and sharp. It's angry. It's not going to win any awards, but I like it.
Okay. Craig?
To me, this not musically there, but it does like a tonal shift, a bit like what Cannibal Surf Babe does on Afraid of Sunlight, where it's different to the rest of the album. But this is definitely this is a, like you say, Grace said, it's political, but also if you look at the lyrics near the end, I'll try to wash it all away in the swell, but every wave drew my soul a little closer to the hell, which we mentioned. I tried to push a little conscience to the back of my head. So it's again, it's the politics, but it's also the fact of like we're trying to ignore it, we're trying to move on, we're trying not to let it get us down, and we're guilty of that there's more stuff in the lyrics about guilt, about we're not doing enough to stand up and be counted and rage against the machine.
I was going to do a guitar riff there. Sorry.
So this song, I was quite surprised when I listened to the album for the first time and it turned up, because at one point we were going to be a band. Dave, me, my friend Max, Ryan, Joke Man, they were in a band themselves. We were going to be this kind of Americana band. So I remember jamming this song at the studio. I was playing drums on it. I don't play drums on the record, but so it didn't even have any lyrics, but it just had Max playing the riff. And yeah, I remember when it came on the album, I was like, oh, there's our song. It was his song, but it was kind of, we had this kind of short-lived idea that we'd make a band record. But that never happened, and it still hasn't happened. It might do one day.
Yet.
It's to me, it brings back such good memories. But I can imagine as a listening experience, it's not so great.
Okay.
I like it.
Yeah, as I say, we're all different.
Yeah. There's no wrong answers on here. Mikey, next track, To Hell with the World. Be brief.
Okay, this is neck and neck. Changing Places is my favorite track on the album. Gorgeous piano opener. It's another heartbreaking song. It's amazing how his delivery goes, because he sings with such grit, but also with emotion and fragility at the same time. It's just beautifully done. I think the thing that made it for me though was the blend of sort of like the synth string song sounds and the piano work. It was just absolutely wonderful. And again, you've got another tremendous musical break in the middle of it. I could go on for ages, but like the lyrics that hit me the most were so when victory comes at too heavy a price, well, there's honor in choosing defeat, like the boy who was given the keys to the world and decided to sleep in the street. Fucking awesome. Love it.
This is a payoff for the listening to the record for me. This is an amazing song. It's absolutely amazing. He sings in a register that he doesn't really sing anywhere else on the record. It's not a political lyric. I'm not particularly get off on political lyrics, as becoming apparent on this podcast. I'm more on the sort of emotional side of things. The arrangement is amazing. Just the piano and orchestra to start, with David's voice over the top, and then it builds and it builds, and it's just, if you listen to nothing else on this record, listen to this track. It is absolutely stunning. It really is. The chorus gets me. So to hell with the world, I still love you, my girl. You've been crazy to stay by my side. So let's stand and let's sing. There are beautiful things if you know the places they hide. Genius. Great.
I'm glad you read that out, because I don't think I could have made it through it. It's absolutely brilliant. My first note is, despite the melancholy, this is ridiculously beautiful. It is just phenomenal. The way he tells the story, and I've said this, his delivery and the lyric And I'm going to make a comparison here that everybody will go, "What the hell are you talking about?" But I've made it before in this podcast. As a storyteller, this reminds me very much of Chris de Burgh's early albums. Well before Lady in Red and all that nonsense.
Yeah, Patricia the Stripper.
That kind of stuff. Yeah, it's like sort of satin green shutters and all that kind of stuff, where it's story lyrics, but it's told with character, and it's the way he delivers it. It's just, and there's a couple of songs that I'll make the Chris de Burgh reference in it that makes me think back to the first three or four albums of his. But this is, there's only one song on the album which gets anywhere close to this in my mind. This is, I think, my favorite song on the album. There may be one other that pushes it every now and then.
Okay, Craig.
My favorite track on the album is one of my favorite Ford tracks, full stop. It's heartbreakingly beautiful, depressing and uplifting at the same time. And it just goes to show what a songwriter he is. And he can be prolific. Some years he'll pump out 2 albums or something, but you might not hear from him for a few years after that. And I just think he can hit me like H can hit us with stuff, where he just knows which buttons to emotionally press on you. And I say it's got a little bit of politics in, it's got romance in it, it's got heartbreak in it, and it's also got a sign of the times. Back then, people are born to be painfully ornery. X Factor was on TV, and all the wannabes were just wanting to be something when they never were.
I can hear the sadness in it, because I know where it came. But I mean, he must have written it about 2007, after the fallout from his. If you've read his book, you'll know how hard the signing to that major label was, and what it did to his mental health. So it first appeared on a tour I did with him, the 3-piece tour with Hannah, and I remember every night he had the lyrics on a piano, and he was just kind of working it out. And I knew straight away, it's a classic song. It reminds me, he doesn't really mention that he's really a big fan of Ben Folds. He's a really big fan of Ben Folds, but he doesn't really say that now. I don't know why. I mean, no one ever asks him, probably. But he loves the Rock in the Suburbs album.
Yeah, I love Folds myself. He's amazing.
Yeah, and
amazing.
I hear his Ben Folds in that song. It was originally out on I've got it here. It was originally out on this EP called Pages Torn from the Electrical Sketchbook. It was the one that he sold for charity in 2008. So it's not much different on this version, but it's one of those that was around for a very long time, and he stuck with it, obviously.
Yeah, brilliant, absolutely stunning. The next track, Stephen, Mikey,
with a PH.
Yeah.
Well, I had to do a bit of reading on this, because it was clearly set in the real world. So I've read it's about a policeman who was murdered in Northern Ireland for some political clause, he says in inverted commas. I'm sure you guys will fill me in on that. I like the instrumentation on this one, because it very clearly conveys that Irish feel to it. I don't know what sort of guitar's playing in there. Maybe Gary can let us know, but it sounds very Irish, and it gives it a wonderful feel to it. It's really stripped back. Lyrically tells a story. It's quite heavy, actually, but there's a little bit of hope in there. Stripped back, but no less powerful than some of the other tracks of the album. Not one of my favourites, but I know where he was going with it.
It's a ukulele, Mikey.
I was going to say, it sounds like a uke. Yeah. And the man does a uke and accordion in the intro. It's a real Celtic feel to it, isn't it?
He's got a nice little harmonium that he pedals away on.
Right. I didn't do my research, because that's not it. I mean, it clearly is about something that's real. This isn't as good as the track before it for me, but it's the second best track on the record, because it's clearly about something. It's about emotion as well as as sort of real life. I'm going to let these guys talk more because they've obviously done the research. Great.
Yeah, so it's about a guy called Stephen Carroll, who was the first person in 11, 12 years. No, so sorry, 2 days before he was shot, there was two soldiers attacked. I don't know if they were killed, but there was two soldiers attacked. And it was a period where what they called the continuity IRA started fighting again in Northern Ireland after. So the Good Friday Agreement was 1998. And the continuity IRA decided they'd had enough. So in 2009, they started a campaign of terror again. And he was a Northern Ireland Police Service, and he was killed. Interestingly, as it says in the song, Martin McGuinness came out and said that they were doing the country harm, and they were doing the people harm, the people that were doing the terrorist attacks. I love this song because of the way he sings the song. The way the story is told is he's talking to Stephen, he's talking to the guy, he's telling him the story and the impact it's had and how he felt, which I think is a really novel way of doing that kind of thing. I mean, there's a couple of, Spear of Destiny have done a song about somebody going over to Northern Ireland. Obviously, Marillion have done it. And then Harvey Andrews did the song Soldier in the early 70s about a guy that saved people and whatever. So there is they all tend to have a kind of, with the exception perhaps of the Marillion Pro stuff, have that kind of folky feel about them. And I love the way he's composed the music to support the Celtic feel of the story.
This sounds like an early Joel track, just because of the sort of the structure of it.
It's a conversational thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
he's telling us. Yeah, so I really do like it, but sometimes I struggle with songs about Ireland, but that's for various other reasons. But this is really good.
Greg?
Now, if I remember right, when he wrote it, he was playing this live a good while before he did a recorded version of it. And at one of the gigs, there was a friend of Stephen Carroll's niece, I think it was, who saw it and then told the niece, and then the niece told the Stephen Carroll's widow, and she wanted to hear it, and she approved the song. So then he went on to record it, because I think it was if I'm right about this, Gary, I don't think he was going to necessarily record it.
Yeah,
but
he
he
was
was
reservations about it.
Yeah, but it was getting the go ahead by the widow that he actually did it, and the song is from her perspective, and you look at it. I mean, there's some really powerful words on there, so it's because you've never seen any darkness so deep as the moment I clicked out off the light, the night when she'd found out her husband had been murdered. That gets straight in the political bit. I've never seen so much orange and green come together on a thin strip of white. I mean, where do you get that from? Yeah, it's just beautifully put together. Beautifully put together.
And it's sung so well.
Yeah, really, really strong song, really emotional song. And yeah, I love it. It's really powerful.
I mean, you know what mates are like. You're very blasé with telling each other your feelings and stuff. But I told him that there was a night. Were you there, Craig? I don't know if you were there. It was the Milk and Cookies charity concert. I watched him play that song, and I was stood next to Kate Carroll, and I was like, it was. I can't really describe it. It was just, I was so proud of him, and it was just so intense in that room that night. It was at Bush Hall, and it was just like, my God. And she was lovely. She was like, came backstage. She was like all jolly and like, oh, like, love David. And yeah, she's kind of, well, she moved on with her life, obviously, but she now works for mediation into violence in Northern Ireland. She's a real force.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was really, really uncertain about releasing it, as Craig said. But yeah, once he got the thumbs up from the family, he went for it.
Hey, the mood changes quite a bit with the next song, which is Nothing at All, Mikey.
Yeah, this is another one of those short form, what I'm calling interludes. This one works really well for me, and I think anybody on the wrong side of 30 or 40 would probably find some sort of like something to relate to with this, because I think all of us could probably say we're not what we thought we were going to be, or we didn't know what we were going to be, but it certainly wasn't this. Who knows? Who knows? But that's
Well,
how I felt
Mikey,
about it anyway.
me and you do not exactly think where we are today that we would have thought 10 years ago we would be where we
No,
are today.
no,
Seriously.
well, exactly. That's exactly it. It got me in the fields, this one. It really did. I know there's more to it than just that. But that's where it hit me. But I love the delivery. You've got this thing that could almost be sang at a trade union rally or a football ground or a church choir. And if you just, you know, it hits on all of those levels. It's just so powerful. And um I just it's just the way it builds all the way through. It's absolutely fantastic. And I would love to know what's happening at the very end of the track. It sounds to me like money being thrown into an open guitar case. Is that correct?
It is. Well, I wasn't there for that bit of recording, but it sounds like Ford's box of shrapnel, which I've shaken many times before. So
Right,
it's
okay.
it's a wooden, and Craig has seen me shake some shrapnel in the past. It's a wooden box with a handle on, and it's got bottle tops and metal in it. It makes this, so you just do it in time. So that's probably what it is on the song.
Right. But yeah, brilliant ending. Short and sweet. I really liked it.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's quite harsh at the beginning and raucous, and it does kind of flesh out into a really nice song with some clever lyrics in it. And as Mikey says, you can definitely relate to the lyric and the sort of meaning of the song. Another interlude. Great.
Yeah, I mean, Mikey said about the sort of the union sort of song. I put it like union / rebel song. It's got that kind of folk stomp, angry mob saying what the fuck happened. I didn't expect me to be here at this point in time. How's that? How have I ended up like this? Yeah, how have I ended up like this? It's fun. And it's good fun, and I can imagine live it would go down really well because there's that repetitive refrain all the way through it. Nothing at all like I thought it would be. So yeah,
Correct.
And it's got some typical acerbic Ford lyrics in, every heartbreaking lesson carries no wisdom at all, and I've had more second chances than I care to recall. Personal stuff, and then straight in some far-flung aggression, kids are dying for me. I am nothing at all like I wanted to be.
yeah.
Gary, anything to add? You're on this, are you?
I'm on this one.
The chorus,
singing rowdy backing vocals. We all piled around the studio because this is another one for 2008. This is on this one. It's the sketchbook. Oh, this is the first one.
It's volume 1, yeah.
Yeah, volume 1. And we also sang on another one called How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love My Credit Card, which is a good song. I was surprised it didn't make the album, but we're on that one as well. But yeah, we all kind of got round the mic and just rowdy sang it. He's always like, "You're not rowdy enough. You need to be more rowdy," because we're like white middle class blokes from Eastbourne. I think he wants some kind of something a bit more edgier. But to me it's the Tom Waits influence coming out. He was absolutely obsessed with Tom Waits at one point around the time of this album.
Yeah, he was.
So it was always on in the van, and I've never asked him. I've never been brave enough to ask him. But I went to university in 2007, and he was like, "Why are you going to uni?" And I was like, "Well, it's just something to do, and like I've never been before. I was 30, and there's that line in it: who needs an education when you've got a degree?" And I always think, "You bastard." I wonder if that's but I've never been brave. I've never been brave enough to ask him, as much as I love him and I know him so well. I've never asked him about that. Maybe I will now.
You should. After a drink, you should ask him. Yeah. Okay. The next track again is a sort of a shift of pace. This is Sylvia. Mikey.
This is a nice bouncy one. The Were Misses. I can imagine this one being sung in a London pub with somebody playing on one of them upright pianos and the rest of the band surrounding. I just think it's one of those numbers where the music's more joyous than the lyrical content, but the marriage is perfect. It's kind of sitting, get your bingo cards ready. It's getting sitting somewhere between Squeeze and Chaz and Dave for me, but not the corny Chaz and Dave. I'm thinking like, ain't no pleasing you, you know? I just think it's fun how you can have this unrequited love song, that's played joyously. It's crazy and it's fun, and I think it's a much needed lightness on the album. Um, it's kind of higher than middle ground for me. It's not quite hitting the highs of some of the tracks on the album, but it's good. I really enjoyed it.
Okay. This falls in the same category as Waiting for the Storm. For me, it's a very ordinary song. Nothing much to write home about. It's nice enough. I can't say any more than that.
That's because you're a heathen.
It's not because I'm a heathen, mate. It's not because I'm a heathen. I don't want to have to research music. I want it to,
No, yeah. So, I mean, for me, this is one of the 3 songs that I've got the Christopher reference, because he done a lot of stuff like this in his early things, sort of the Joanna type stuff. And I think what Mikey was saying about it's the juxtaposition of the lyrics against the music is really clever, because it does sound kind of jaunty and kind of up, like sort of all around the piano in the pub having a good old time. But when you listen to the lyrics, it's not really saying that at all. It's like I've written it down. It's an off-kilter love song. I like it. It's middling for the album for me.
But you haven't got much more to say than me, have you?
No,
Craig,
more.
what do you make of this?
It's off its tits.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
You
Now,
see?
if I'm right, Gary, yeah. Sylvia, it's not a person.
I can't remember.
Right, Sylvia was the name of the god-awful pimpmobile that they went on tour with in America when he got some money from the record label.
Yeah, it rings a bell.
And it was a god-awful thing. And then after that, they continued, if I remember right, he continued to nickname the sat-navs that he used in the States Sylvia, because they were talking to him like that. So it's essentially a song about a sat-nav.
Oh, well, I take back everything I've said then.
Well, John, just so you know, it's rarely played. I don't think I've ever.
I can understand that.
It's just a bit of fun.
I feel like I'm exercising some demons here, but when I heard this song, it was another what's that? That's our song from the band. And this.
Sorry, Gary, I didn't mean.
And John, and this one was mine. So.
Oh shit!
So I wrote.
Oh God!
But no, it's his song. It's his song. But I wrote a song called "Disguising Your Fears," just to fit in with this country vibe, and it's got the same thing. And when we jammed it out, Fawn got down to the piano and did this honky tonk kind of piano, and it's the honky tonk from this song. But my song is not his song, so I won't call in the lawyers. Don't worry. I like to think it was an inspiration.
I'm sure it was. Yeah, it's an homage to yours, Gary. Yeah,
yeah.
Let's move on. Meet Me in the Middle, Mikey.
Well, to me, this one is where the music does fit the lyric perfectly. You've got this beaten down, world weary kind of guy, and there's a weariness to the music as well, and it just works beautifully. It's I don't want to call it swing. Is it a swing song? It's probably more lounge than swing, but it's certainly got a groove to it that hasn't sat anywhere else on the album. And I also like the way that the song structure itself lyrically works. It's not like verse, chorus, verse, chorus. You've got the refrain, meet me in the middle after every other line. It's really, really clever. Again, I think it's kind of sitting in the middle for me. Pretty much the same as Sylvia. It's something different. It's something. It's another feather in his cap musically. But I don't think it's quite hitting any highs as some of the other tracks do. But I really did enjoy it all the same.
Okay. Yeah, it's more of the, well, not more of the same. It's a different style. It's almost lo-fi, the way it's recorded. And that sort of dissonant guitar in the background, and as Mikey says, a sort of lazy off-kilter drum, which is probably Gary, if I'm going to offend him.
No, if it's an
not you.
off-kilter drum, it's going to be Ford.
Oh, okay, that's okay. Yeah.
He's a very good drummer, by the way. Annoyingly so.
Yeah, I can't find any more to say about this. Gray.
Well, between the two of you, Mike, you said what I was going to say. So Mikey with the World Weary, it is desolate, isn't it? It's just like, it's just somebody who's just sick to death of, or written from the perspective of somebody who is sick to death of all the shit that goes on, and like just sort of, but it's also, you're not alone, you know, meet me in the middle, we can talk about it, you know, never you colour the floor, and, you know, meet me in the middle. I think it's another clever lyric, the way he's done it, because obviously there's no chorus as such. It's just a refrain. So meet me in the middle,
Yeah,
and meet me in the middle. So meet me in the middle, you know, at the end of every stanza. And I think, Craig, was it you, or was it, no, Mikey, was it you that said every song's different, but they all work together?
yeah,
You know, so, and I think that's possibly because of the lyrical style, the writing style it's really quite complex how he does it. But there's a thread, because it's all done really intelligently. It doesn't matter what the music's like, the way the lyrics all tie together. I'm waving my hands frantically and trying to do it. There is a thread to the style all the way through the album, despite having ragtime and country and all this kind of stuff underneath it.
Do you think it has an arc? It's a very weird track listing for me. It kind of peaks in the middle and falls away again. It's
and I think so. If you think about it, so things like, so what was it? It was To Hell with the World, Stephen.
And Stephen, yeah, that's the real high in the middle of the record, and the rest of it is it's strange. I think it could have been sequenced better.
Possibly, yeah. I can understand why some of the songs were together. I think Stephen and Nothing at All work really well together, because they've both got that kind of folky feel to them. But yeah, but you're tired at the end of listening to this song.
It doesn't exactly pick you up the next thing. But Greg, talk about Meet Me in the Middle.
Yeah, this song is a piece in time, because what happened when he was recording songs from the road, the first album came together really, really quickly. The second album, he got his industrial unit, he worked on it all on his own, he was up all night, he was doing things, and he'd gone in a direction. He went to the record label because they wanted to hear the progress of where the album was. So he had a meeting for the head of the record label. Yeah, it is. Here's my new album. And he got an absolute arse kicking from the record label. They absolutely hated where he'd gone with the second album and wanted him to start again. And it was the first time in his life where he'd had such a big, like, a pounding against his artistic where he was going with something. And he just found himself numb outside of a tube station. And, you know, he had practically had a breakdown. And from that point, he was just in the middle. He wasn't particularly feeling highs. He wasn't particularly feeling lows. He was just stuck. And there was he had to go through almost like hell to get the second album finished. And it really affected his mental health through, was it 2007 and into 2008. So this is where this song kind of comes from. He's like going through his emotions or lack thereof at the time. And obviously Gary know a bit more than this, and it depends on how much you want to kind of go into it or not.
Yeah, I mean, I think you've summed it up, Craig. I mean, as mates, all we could do was we used to go down the park and play football on a Sunday, and we didn't really talk about it. It was just like, yeah, he would tell us little snippets, but if I'm being honest, I didn't really know the full extent until I read the book, because he obviously kept it to himself. So yeah, we felt a bit guilty in a way, but he was cool with it, and yeah, we were there for him. And he picked himself up gradually, and obviously got married in 2005. Emma's on this track actually; she's playing doorbell. Um, so I completely forgot. I read the notes in the album. He recorded the piano at our friend Mark's house. It's one of Dave's oldest friends, Mark. He recorded. They shared a house together, flat together. But Mark's parents had this really nice piano, really old piano, and basically, not until he played the track back, he realised there was this doorbell at the end, and it was Emma. Um, he was going to cut it out, but no, it made it. It made it because he just loved it, and it just didn't sound right without it. So she is on the album, Mrs. Well, she's not Mrs. Ford. She's Emma Ellis, but she's on the record too.
Okay, great story. Mikey, the final sort of interlude is next, which is Missouri.
Yeah, another one which when I was looking on Discogs earlier on today, I realized that it was actually recorded in a motel room at the Roadway Inn in Bobbinsburg, Missouri. And that just shone an entirely different light on it for me, because the first time I heard it, I wasn't sure. I just thought you could have quite easily left this 1 minute 30 track off the album, or is it just the musings of a song that didn't get anywhere? But when you know the context and you're in a hotel room and you're on the road, or you're playing gigs across America, and you're thousands of miles away from home, it's just a piece of prose, and it works beautifully. And to say it was recorded in a hotel room, to have the layers of vocals going on that are going on in this track, it's a very powerful 1.5 minutes, and the probably the strongest of the three interludes for that reason. I think it's quite heartbreaking, actually. It feels quite lonely, and yeah, I think you get that in this track. I really liked it.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's the best of the interludes by far. I probably wish he'd kind of fleshed it out to a slightly longer track, if I'm honest. He could have built a little bit more on it. It's really nice. The harmonies and the backing vocals are great on it as well. Yeah, great. Is he frozen?
He's
I think he has.
frozen.
He's frozen.
I'm back again. I'm back
Oh,
again.
he's
There he
back.
is.
I'm back again. I love it. So you talk about the harmonies. For me, it's got a gospel feel to it.
Yeah, yeah.
The way the lyrics are built, the way the vocals are built, it's got that gospel feel. I'd love to have heard more of it. I'd love to have been built up. It's like that really plaintive yearning for home. And as someone who has spent months and months away in places where you eventually get to the point where you're sick and tired of being away, that really hit the mark for me. Just hearing that what is it, 4 lines, 5 lines? Because the last one repeats, doesn't it? It could have been so much more, but I think it really hits hard because of how short it is. So yeah, I love it. I think it's definitely the best of the 3 interludes.
Yeah. Greg?
Yeah, it's not a lot to say. You've covered it fine. It's just a nice little interlude, with what sounds like, TV and that on the background, just the atmospherics of being away from home, and yeah.
Do we know? Can I ask you? Because it's a 45-minute album that didn't come out on vinyl. So why do you think he's worked to that time frame?
It was just, well, it was self-published CD, And
But you
I
got all
think
that stuff, all that wealth of stuff on those CDs or those EPs.
I think he wanted to keep it lean and mean because I know I think Celia Apologizes a longer album. Songs from the Roads wrote a similar shorter album, but I think he just wanted to keep it concise. And there was a lot of material around, like Gary was waving around the songs from the Electrical Sketchbook EPs and stuff, which were around about on the lead up to this album. There was a lot of material around. I think he just wanted to keep it to a certain length.
I mean, it's a
Well,
very
even
similar. I mean, Gary mentioned Ben Folds earlier. Ben Folds did a similar thing. He put 4 EPs out and then collated them into an album called Super Sunny Speed Graphic, which is kind of the best of the EPs.
Yeah, I think there's
even though it's 45 minutes, it's still 13 tracks, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but I'm just, we're talking about why did he not extend Missouri? Well, it's
Yeah.
not because there wasn't time.
Yeah.
No, I think he just wanted it at that, really.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know the full reason, but he's very much. He still thinks the album is the greatest art form ever. So he'll always put an album together. That's his vision. Yeah, it's such a sad song, and as a friend, it's like we know that a lot of those American tours. He was on his own. He was supporting. I don't know if I get into trouble. He supported American singer-songwriter, really famous American female singer-songwriter, and she basically said hello to him really late on in the tour. So he was and he was just traveling a lot of the gigs on his own. That's why he tries to take someone with him. Like if one of our friends is going through a rough patch and they've split up with their girlfriend, he's like, "Do you want to come to America?" And he keeps saying it. He keeps saying, we've got to do, before we're all dead, we've got to do a full band American gig of somewhere. Just go there, do a gig in America. He doesn't really play America much at all now anyway, because of the reasons that other people don't really play America. It's so difficult. When he tells me about the whole queuing up at what's it called, the place in London, just to try and get to America to
the embassy
gigs. The embassy, yeah. It sounds horrific. So yeah, but it does encapsulate that kind of lonely on the road feeling.
Yeah, and the Orange phenomenon's not making it any easier to go over there, is he?
No, certainly not.
Okay, let's lighten the mood a bit. Mikey, the next track is "She's Not the One."
She's not the one, is she? She certainly wasn't. So the election years 79, 83, and 87 are mentioned. So we all know that it was a Maggie Thatcher leading song, but certainly not in the Pink Floyd final cut kind of vitriol. We've got a quirky sort of like country rock number going on, honky tonk aplenty, and bingo cards at the ready. I really could see Elton John doing this. I really could. I just think it's really fun. The Hammond style keyboards later on in the song and the bluesy guitars work really well for me. But my favorite bit of the entire song, it's just the shalalas towards the end, just the way they repeat. I just think it is absolutely just a beautiful payoff to the song. Light-hearted, tongue-in-cheek fun. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's probably it picks the album back up really for me at this point. It's quite a nice song. It's a great opening line. Holy cow, I need to get my shit together. Great line. And as Mikey says, got me bad. It's 79, 83 and 87. Yeah, it's good. It's light-hearted. It's done in a very different way to a lot of the sort of political messages earlier in the record. Yeah, Gray, what do you make of it?
So it's in the top third of the album for me. I think it's really it's political satire. It's like when she's got the perfect smile, yellow teeth, and vile. It's like villainy. Yeah, absolutely brilliant lyrics. So good.
It's good because he rhymes villainy with killing me.
Yeah,
Which is
yeah.
nice.
It's just so I can imagine spitting image doing it. Just making it. I can imagine the spitting image Maggie in the background doing it. It just makes me smile the whole song. But it's nasty though. It's just really well done. It's good.
Okay, Greg.
Yeah, it's a funny, biting, nasty little lyric, but it's funny as fuck.
It's like a party sing along, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, but it kind of get at the end with, like you say, with the shallow lads, it gets all a bit like, Hey Jude stroke 3 Minute Boy, doesn't it? And it was like that live, it was like that at the gigs where it ends up as a bit as a sing along at the end.
Yeah. Oh, I can still remember it because thanks to this podcast, I hadn't listened to this album for a long time, and I completely forgot at the beginning. He made us do that. Ah, woohoo! just like six blokes just standing around a mic. It's just, what are we doing? The things we do for you. But yeah, it's a, yeah. I said it about Thatcher. That's all I put at the end on my notes.
It does mention an American in it as well, though, doesn't it?
Yeah. But
From California.
Yeah.
yeah.
From California, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, it's good fun. Good fun.
Cool. The penultimate track is Hurricane. Mikey.
This is, well, has been probably my favorite track on the album since I first played the album through. Gorgeous, quiet piano opener, which is pretty much all there is behind his vocals for the first verse. And as the song progresses, other instruments come in, so you get this sort of like gentle lifting as the song builds and progresses. Works really well. Let the Hard Times Roll line is name checked in this song.
Yeah.
And I always love an album title that's taken from a deep cut lyric and not just a song title. That was an ace win for me. And towards the end, there's like a return to a stripped back interlude where you've got, I think it's about the 2 minute mark. It's just rip roaring piano work. It's just so well done, I think the thing I liked about it is the poignancy of it. I think, as Craig mentioned at the top of the podcast, I think this song is probably more poignant and relevant now in 2026 than it was back in 2010. But I just love how full on and bombastic the music builds to towards the end. And then it just falls away again. And you've just got this beautiful piano outro for about 40 seconds. It is just so well constructed. Absolutely wonderful lyrics. My favorite lines were, well, this land is your land, this land is mine. Now pull up a chair and we can watch the decline. It's like being watching the news for the last God knows how long. But yeah, it's still my favorite track on the album. It's absolutely top-notch stuff.
Yeah, it's great. It's a great ending. It kind of picks the end of the album up for me. It's this. I mean, you guys have probably done this all the way along, but it's a better. You get more out of it by reading the lyrics as you're listening to it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but you may have looked at my notes. I've got bombastic, tick. I've got melancholy ending, tick. But there's some great lines in here, and it feels like the neutral's been wired to the live. I feel like some hero been doomed to survive, and it's never enough to shake the foundations and rattle the walls. So book me a seat and I'm along for the ride. Now is the age to just let it all slide. Brilliant lyrics, brilliant. Great.
I could read the entire lyric out and just say, what more do you want to say? It's my favourite song on the album by a good bit, I think.
I'm sorry, listeners. We're looking at the top of Gray's head. It's like he's just
it's
fallen off his chair.
It's because I'm reading the lyrics as well, and I've only got my phone this week. So
okay, sorry.
But it's like, so, I mean, God bless America, God save the Queen, God kill my enemies and keep my hands clean. It's never enough, and this medication's not wearing off anytime soon. It could have been written yesterday. Do you know what I mean? Not 18 years ago, 16 years ago.
It does tell you that nothing's changed, though, doesn't it? Really, we're
It
saying
does.
this quite a lot throughout the podcast.
It's like, I mean, I'm going to read another bit. And who gives a damn if this conspiracy is real? That there's a whole generation asleep at the wheel, and it's never enough. Let the hard times roll. No, we're not in control, and we'd be crazy to think that we are. It's just like, it's an absolutely brilliant song. And really insightful lyrics. And again, it's his ability to do that and make it draws you in. I get dragged in by the lyrics, and then I realize the music that's good underneath it is piano playing is fucking brilliant. Yeah, favorite song on the album.
Okay, Greg.
Yous have covered it all. It's absolutely feckin' fantastic, and I love the brass. It's almost like a mariachi feel
Yes.
when it builds up and stuff. And it's stunning, and it's just got such passion, and yeah, and it's one of those things. It's a first part of a two-part album closer, because this and The Call to Arms are pretty much sister songs together. You know, this builds into the last song, and yeah, top-notch stuff. One of my favorite songs by far.
Yeah,
Anything
this
to add,
is
Jerry?
well, this is around from 2008. It was another one of those sketchbook CDs. At the studio, my vivid memory, the album that we always saw on the microwave as we walked in was Born to Run. Ford thinks Born to Run is like the greatest achievement in recorded history.
Really?
Yeah, he loves Born to Run.
He's a
loves
massive
Born to
Springsteen
Run.
fan, isn't he?
Yeah. So, and I hear that in, I don't know. I just get the vibe from Springsteen in this song. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm too close to it. But yeah, it's a great song, and it's great to do live. It's just that kind of everyone stands up into tension when they hear it. Yeah, brilliant song.
Cool. Final track on the record then is A Call to Arms. Mikey.
Well, I thought it was going to be a heinous thing putting a track on after Hurricane, but it works really well, and it works well because it's almost like a quarter to the entire album, not just the last track for me.
It's this album's made again, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's pretty much, apart from a few, background effects and, very lo-fi drums or keyboard sequences, it's pretty much just vocals and guitar. And for the best part, I think that works really, really well. And it's got a tinge of hope to this. I think after Hurricane, it's nice to have that. I mean, it's not all roses, but there's hope within it. And I think that was enough for me. But at 3 minutes 30, you get this wonderful lead vocal going on. Absolutely gorgeous. It's almost choral. Pink Floyd's On the Turning Away, when it gets into that last chorus, when you get that sudden lift. I got that. And, when you get the take your breath away moments, I got that with this. It just got me with the feels. And I thought Hurricane was the perfect end of the album. This just very big tick for me. As much as I love Hurricane, and I thought, and it's still the best part of the album for me. This is a perfect album closer. It really is. And the guitar and the drums and the vocals at the end are just brilliant. It's just a really, really perfect track. Really well done.
I don't really add anything to that, Mike. Yeah, I agree with everything you said there. I'm not going to add anything. Great.
It does, doesn't it? It pulls together all the personal angst and the political commentary from the hours, like you say. It's like a wrap up, and it does it in a challenging way. It's like, let's not be defeated, even though we can't win, because I see there's a crack in the walls of the mess that we're in. Do you know what I mean? It's like there's a little chink of hope. I might have been a miserable sod for most of this album, but there is light at the end of the tunnel. Don't leave me alone. Come with me, join me. and it's really, really well done. I can imagine. I've obviously never seen him live, but I can imagine this being a show closer. I can imagine this being one of the last things he would do in the show.
Yeah, it was, and it was an audience sing along one as well. He got everybody to sing along with it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's as powerful with him and a guitar, really, because he plays it just normally solo with an electric guitar if he's on his own, and it's as powerful, really. And as Craig said, with the crowd involved as well. Yeah, it's good stuff.
But like John said, it's like Made Again on Brave. You know, you've got your light at the end of the tunnel. It's not all doom and gloom. You know, as long as you've got love, it's what you need.
Yeah.
Well, there it is. David Ford's third album. Anything else you want to say? Any final thoughts? Do you want? I mean, you can't really talk formats. There's just CD on this, wasn't there? There was a hardback book version.
Yeah, that's it. And it's never been out on vinyl, but he has just released, or is just releasing, a best of kind of compilation vinyl, which he's bringing out on tour soon as well in October.
Okay.
Is he touring in October? I was going to say I need to know when he's playing because I really would like to go and see him play live.
I'm just pissy because he's in the Northeast. I mean, I missed his tour last time because it's sold out, because he was just playing the Clooney one rather than the Clooney two. And he's just playing the little laundrette venue in Durham. But he's also going to play our mate Scott's venue, the Artisan Tap in Stoke-on-Trent.
Artisan Tap, yeah. He is. Yeah. Any final thoughts on this record, Mikey?
I'll just sum it up. I think it's intelligent and it's very human. That's it. It's better than I thought it was going to be, and it definitely surprised me. Well played, Craig. Great album.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, although I didn't love all of it, as you've heard, I think it's worth it for To Hell With the World. Thanks for that, Craig. It's an amazing song. The rest of it I may not return to, but please have a listen. These guys have got a lot out of it. So great.
I think it's one of those albums that shows you how fickle the music business can be, because the guy is such a good singer-songwriter. His ability to weave words and the music that he comes up with is fantastic, and how he was so close and yet not able to make it. Just, I mean, I've got his book now, thanks to Craig. I've got his book sitting there ready to go, and I'm looking forward to that. But I really would recommend anybody who likes singer-songwriter stuff, and I don't mean that in kind of just one man and a guitar, but sort of somebody telling a story through song. Yeah, definitely give it a look or a listen.
Greg, anything else you want to add?
Yeah. Apart from anything, the one thing that I've really got to thank David Ford for is getting to know Mr. G-Man Page here, because we've had a good friendship for the last over plus 16 years.
Yeah.
And he's one of the nicest people on the planet, as all these guys here could do. And it's we love you, mate. We really do. And I'm so thankful for all this to getting us all together.
Yeah, well, it is. It's just seeing you with the Marillion t-shirt at a Ford gig when I just about to go on stage, and I was like, I love Marillion. If it was a film, that's what it'd be like. And then we were chatting, and then we mates ever since, and obviously introduced me to all you guys as well. So yeah, I think it's my favourite Ford album. As I say, I don't listen to him often, I've got to admit. The songs are just kind of in me, really. They're innate in me, just because having to play them and stuff. So, but it was really nice listening to the album again after all this time. So thanks for inviting me on.
Yeah, you're more than welcome, Gary, and you're welcome back on the other pods. Come and talk about the other lot as well. We'll have you back on there. Yeah. What do you guys think of the record? Have a listen. Please comment in our Planet Music Facebook group. There's lots of good chat going on there. We'd love to know what you think of it. And I'll regret saying this, but any more suggestions for other albums would be received gratefully, although we have a list of things to do. But if you like the podcast, please like and subscribe. It helps us get out there to more people. And I want to thank our guest, Gary Page.
Thank you, John. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, mate. And of course, the usual crew. Thank you, Gray. He's frozen
again.
Thank you, Mikey.
Pleasure as always, guys.
Thank you, Craig.
It's all right, I'm not going to freeze.
No. All that remains to be said is it's good night from me.
And it's good night from him.
Take care.
And stay
alive.
Thanks for listening
to Planet Music from the makers of Planet Marzipan. If you like what you've heard, please like and subscribe, and maybe even join our Facebook discussion group.
You can contact us at planetmarzipanpodcast@gmail.com.